Okay, so now that we have our first task, it's about time we go and start our essence hunting. Oh gosh, this is going to be interesting, particularly because I can't remember my way around town just yet. Thankfully, sort of, as time goes on, I will get back into how Belbridge is laid out, but up until that point, we will have to see what happens. So thankfully, I do believe we've got more than enough apples to be able to complete good old Gino's stuff, but got to do a wee bit of prospecting. Basically, this is the second of our essence collecting methods. Well, third, technically. And it's all luck-based, so have fun with this one. It can be particularly annoying when you are later in the game when you've got to collect a massive amount of essences. Like, towards the end of the game, you will be in the asked for the 40s for grand total of stuff. I think some even ask you in the 60s, which is ridiculous, especially when you need to prospect them, because prospecting takes quite a while to do, because you never know what you're going to get. I mean, thankfully, in most cases, it's generally nice and alternates between the various items in the area, but sometimes it's not that pleasant. As I will tell you towards the end of this, actually, because there was one prospecting search that took me much longer than I could have wished it to take. It was hell. And it's why you've got to be so patient with MySims. Because it just expects you to just amble along at a peaceful pace. It's all about just just chill, relaxed atmosphere. You're not rushing around trying to do everything, even though that's kind of how I'm tackling it, and being very precise in the amount of essences I'm collecting and how many essences I put onto an item, which isn't the way the game wants you to play it. It wants you to be completely creative, it wants you to collect masses of essences, but unfortunately, even though I am incredibly patient, more so than I think you'd probably expect from me, and more so than I think quite a few other gamers, it just, for the sake of recording it, it's just easier and quicker to just kind of bulldoze through this. And as we get on later, I will be kind of cutting out huge chunks of essence collecting. More so I'll show you where you need to go to get the essences, roughly what essences you need. And once we've found at least one of them, I'll just cut out the big chunk that's in the middle. So you won't have kind of massive essence hunting sections like that. I mean, that's a pretty damn short essence hunt, all things considered. And the thing that surprised me about the pizza runs, this is surprisingly complex for so early in the game. I mean, it really isn't that complex, but I suppose it's not that bad, considering we've done the flower stands and stuff. But trust me, some of the designs later on get insane. Trust me, you have yet to see how mad these things get. Now, I can't remember quite how many things Gino wanted on this. How many did he want? 8 and 4. Oh, okay, fair enough. I didn't think this design through at all. Oh well. Okay, I'd be a little bit creative then. Not too much, mind, but just a little bit. Now, I'm not actually going to be fully going with the design here, even though that would make it a much better pizza oven. I don't know quite what, okay, I am going for... I don't quite know what's going on here. I think I'm on a wee bit nuts. Oh well, it happens. Okay, now let's stick the apples on. Now, I could have made this build a lot quicker and a lot simpler, but clearly something in me didn't want to make things easy for myself. Don't quite know what's wrong with me, but them's the grapes. Them's the grapes? What the hell did I just say? Oh dear. Now, this is one of the problems that I do have with MySims. And it's that sometimes you go into a Sim's house and they aren't there. So you have to wait a bit to for them to come in before you can give them the stuff. Which is rather irritating. Especially when sometimes they don't come in quite when you want them to. Oh well. It's fine, you just have to deal with it. It's the patience thing coming back in. And to be perfect, I'll probably go back onto that subject. In that, I think it's something that I've noticed purely in how forgiving I generally am for games. Because a lot of people that I know, there's games that I quite like that they just reject. And I think it's because I'm a lot more patient with these things, or at least a lot more forgiving. In that, I mean, there's like Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's Treasure. I know some people weren't that keen on that, but I really liked it, and I think it's because I'm just a bit more patient in trying to get times down. I mean, I will say that I can get incredibly frustrated at incredibly difficult levels. Cough, cough, the final level of Harmonite. Oh my word, that level game just really made me want to throw my 3DS through a brick wall. But through sheer patience, I made it. I can't say the same for Grandmaster, the perfect running Grandmaster Galaxy in Super Mario Galaxy 2. But I will beat that challenge eventually. That will be one of my life goals eventually. Well, life goals, that's a bit big for that, but it's something that I will do at some point. I'm determined. It's probably going to end up happening when I eventually record Super Mario Galaxy 2 as a walkthrough. Although, up until the point where I can actually officially do Grandmaster Galaxy Perfect Run, I can't say it's a walkthrough. Oh well. But yeah, so one thing that I will tell you now is that I will just go on really random rambles throughout MySims, because the thing is that there's not a whole lot actually in the game to discuss once you kind of deal with your basics. Because it's not even like... you kind of... you automatically will run out of stuff to say. Because there's just so much stuff. Now, if I recall correctly, there are some essences that you never use. And I do believe that these ones that we never use are gems. They're very, very rare, but I could be completely wrong in this assumption. But I just don't remember using them. I probably am completely wrong, but yeah, because there's all these... yeah, there's all these gems, and you just don't use them. If I recall correctly, most of the most said essences are located by prospecting in the desert. I won't be showing you finding them because let's just say I don't know where they are. Oh, okay. I will point out where they are located when we get to the area, but because in town there's 3 areas that we will eventually unlock. There's the city centre, as I like to call it. There's a forest, and then there's a desert, and all of the gem essences are in the desert, but you never need any of them, which is really bizarre because they are the only essences that you don't use in the game, which I don't know whether is a good thing or whether it's just a bit nah. Oh well. Now, I have to say, sort of, when it gets to the point that there are... the characters set you, like, 3 items at once, it can be slightly annoying, but for the most part, you just get used to it, really. Oh, he only wants to sink. Oh, that's nice of him. And I will be using this sink design quite frequently, and it will be changing also quite frequently. Because it really does. You can get so much out of this one design by just changing it ever so slightly. It's brilliant. So this is kind of where you have more essences to put on than you have blocks in the blueprint. So you have to kind of make space to put the things in. And you can get quite creative in how you do this. Unfortunately, I can't say I'm quite as creative as I could be when it comes to doing it, because a lot of them are just rather stupid looking. It gets worse, well, it got worse when I first played the game, because it was literally just like shoving masses of stuff onto an item. Largely because you can make characters your best friend, as I said before, and the best way to do this is by giving them stuff that is maxed out in their kind of main interest. So, like, you would give Gino something that was completely 100% tasty, which is easier said than done, but you reach the point where you kind of have to do that. Now, I don't quite know what I'm going off to do right now. I think I've kind of gone a bit nuts. Either that, or I'm desperate to find some more essences, but I don't know why. No, that's very helpful, and no wonder the town's blooming in trouble. All your bloody access points are blocked off. So the only way to get into the town is by blooming train. I mean, they don't even have a road out of here. It's so remote. It's ridiculous. I should probably just fertilise this thing. Get the essences quicker. But unfortunately, I'm not that mean. I like my trees, apart from when I need the wood. The wood needs to, you need to chop it down, unfortunately. You have no choice in that matter. Now, I have to say, sort of, I am ever so slightly worried about doing the commentary for MySpace. MySpace? Why would I be doing a commentary on MySpace? Oh, that would be terrible commentary. What I was trying to say was, I'm slightly worried about doing the commentary for MySims here, because, as I said before, you run out of things to talk about. And this isn't a short game. It actually lasts quite a long time, surprisingly. I mean, as I said, I think the first part, my original save file has about 50 hours on it, which sounds ridiculous, but considering I was trying to be best friends with every single person that you can be, including the Uber Sims, which you can unlock. Basically, once you've maxed out your town in a particular interest, largely by having those types of Sims in your town, and by 100%ing the interests of their house, you can have the Uber Sims come to stay. And the Uber Sims basically work to be like they are the pinnacle of the interests that you have done. But it's harder to befriend them than anybody else. So you do have to make sure to have the 100%ed essences things. If I recall correctly, what I found was if you had 2 items which you 100% filled up, then if you put that in somebody's house and okay, and then that generally would make them your friend. Them your friend, yeah, that makes sense. And that would make them your best friends. So then you get the special item that they'd give you. For all of the commercial Sims bar Buddy, they give you their outfits. So you can dress up as them and basically steal their identity. But the towny Sims, which we can't get until we've completed Gino's tasks here, they will just give you blueprints, and Buddy will also give you a blueprint. But Buddy's different because you can't kick Buddy out. You can't kick Mayor Roslyn out either, but Buddy counts as less of a commercial sim than anybody else because he's got no tasks for you to do. So you just kind of have to make do. I don't quite know what my design choice is going to be here. It's going to be an ever so slightly odd stove, but there we go. I mean, you just kind of make things up as you go along, really. I mean, look, it works. It gives him all the essences he wants. It may look not the most aesthetically pleasing thing in the world, but it'll do. He didn't ask for anything specific. He's just going to get that. Yeah, my creativity is not going to be at its foremost here. I mean, there are two tasks. Well, one task with 2 items where my creativity will be a little bit more useful. Ah, where did you come from? Ah, you teleported. I didn't know that was possible. Okay, clearly it is for Sims. This is just a standard thing. They just kind of appear from nowhere and then just kind of just like, hello, I'm home to nobody, but then I'm there because I'm trying to give them stuff. Why can't you be in your house when I need you? Okay, now let's be clever about where we are putting this stuff. Put the stove next to the oven because even though both are going to be really hot, so that's okay. Put the sink over here and put the fridge as far away from the hot stuff as possible because we wouldn't want to be burning everything that's in the fridge. And we've completed everything for Gino. Oh yes. So that's our first full set of tasks done. It's time to get started on the next person. Oh lord.
Florit. Hubi. Chubneb?